Alright, shit, is this thing on? Fucking hell. It's been so long since I've done one of these videos, but yeah, I'm back. Alright, the topic we're gonna talk about today is me turning 17 in 2023. I know this is gonna come off as really narcissistic, but yes, I did turn 17 in 2023. So, these are some things I've learned from this year. So, first things first, 2023 by no means was it my best year. I think 2022 was my best year in terms of like achievement and everything else. Like 2022, I was literally like I made one of the greatest academic comeback I think I've ever seen in my life as well. From one of the worst students in my cohort, I became one of the best, like top 10 in my class, I think. Yeah. And this year compared to like last year, achievements wise, it wasn't really that much because last year I remember I had like at least 5 to 6 achievements, both like academically and like co-curricularly. But this year it's like, yeah, my achievements have gotten a lot lesser. But even though 2023 like wasn't my best year, I felt like I learned a lot from this year. So first things first, I want to talk about some things that happened in 2023. So I think the big thing is really change, if you know what I mean, because a lot of things changed for me in 2023. So first things first, let's talk about school. I came from a neighborhood secondary school in my country, and it was a very, very small view of how big the actual society was, because like I remember my cohort only had about 120 people that graduated. And coming to tertiary education, going to like further my education in my country, and when I stepped into my new school, it was completely different. It was sort of like a mini version of university. Whereas, yeah, I'm sure you guys know how universities work. Like, they have different faculties, but it's like the total amount of students in the school is probably about 20, 30,000, yeah, more or less. And it was just really weird for me at first. Like, it was sort of a culture shock. Like, it took me some time to get used to seeing people that were older than me, and people that were doing things that I never thought would be done. And it just took me some time to really get used to that, because in my secondary school everyone was kind of conservative. I was part of the rowdy bunch, and I came to tertiary education. I was like, damn, there's some people that are really, really bad. And I've done my best to try and filter out the bad and the good. And I feel like it's more or less like secondary school, where I'm still a loner, kinda, because I really get along well with everyone. Despite telling everyone like I'm an introvert, I really do get along well with a lot of different people, even though I'm an introvert. Because which seems weird, because most of the time I just categorize myself as sort of a closeted extrovert. I don't want to make that sound gay or whatever. It's just like I don't really spend time outside. I just really spend time by myself a lot more. But I am totally capable of holding a conversation with just a random stranger. And stepping into tertiary education, it has taught me a lot of things. Like, there's a lot of different people doing a lot of different things that I just really didn't expect would happen around me. Like, at 17 you're into your mid to late teens now, and there's people around me having kids. No, not having kids, having sex. And there's people around me vaping, people around me going to clubs, people around me studying, people around me getting licenses for cars, and people around me like getting jobs. So it just feels like, oh, you're sort of left out of a lot of things. And I think that's just gonna continue from like now onwards. It's just like there's a lot of things that I've been excluded of, and there's a lot of activities that I wouldn't see myself doing at this time, because it's just, for me, it's just too strange. Like, our society is so fucked to the point that losing your virginity at a younger age is something that has been like glamorized. Like, who the fuck wants to lose their virginity at 14? I literally have schoolmates at like 17 who have like 30 to 40 plus body counts, and I don't think that's right. But hey, who am I to judge? And what else happened in 2023? Oh yeah, I learned to deal with like a lot of hardships. I realized that life throws you curveballs sometimes, and it's really how you deal with the curveballs that separate you from the rest. Like, I think a really recent big curveball I had to deal with was injuries. I I'm a two sport athlete. I play football, or in America they would say soccer, for my school, and I'm part of the school judo team. So let me show you guys something. So yeah, these right here are crutches, and I've been on crutches for the past more or less 1 month, because I've injured my ankle really really badly. And it's just like it took a big blow on me at first, and it still is taking a blow on me right now, because sports is such a big part of my life, and it's one of the things that I really really love doing. And just getting thrown an injury obviously is gonna ruin my mental health and something like that. And it's not the first injury I've picked up this year. I've picked up like 4 injuries this year because of football and because of judo. And because of this latest injury, I'm actually gonna have to sit out for a really long time and do like absolutely zero sports, because I'd rather play the long game than get the short-term gratification, which I'm gonna talk about that later. Delayed gratification is something I've had to learn also this year. But speaking of facing adversity, I realized that life throws at you a lot of challenges, man. And this year, that was really a lot, because I've had to deal with like, heartbreak, especially. Like, I had to go through that for the first time this year, and it was definitely a new experience, and I think it was shocking as well, because I wasn't dating the girl, actually. It was sort of what the kids call a situationship, but you know, I really thought that she was the one, but it's okay. It's part of life, I guess. You know, she taught me a lot of things. She taught me that actually the world isn't such a nice place after all, and I'm grateful to have like my friends around me who have actually brought me out of that hole, and allowed me to go forward with that. And there's a lot of things that I didn't really expect myself to overcome, like school, for example. Like, I remember during the first semester of my school, because of like the heartbreak I actually had to slog through my first semester, and my results weren't that great, if I be honest, because when you have a shit mental health, you still have to juggle school. That's not really the best recipe for success. Like, I study tech, so that's CS, right? And everyone knows that CS is like a freaking majorly no. I don't even look at how much hate I have for it. It's just like the workload for it is so heavy, to the point where like I don't know how I do it sometimes. Like, I still remember in like the first semester, like I was so heartbroken to the point where like I didn't even want to go to school. I had the dropout form, like it was literally printed on my table. I was just waiting to fill it in so I could send it to my teacher. But I'm glad I didn't do that. But we'll see. Alright. So there's really a lot of things that I didn't expect myself to get through. Like the first semester, I totally expected to drop out, but here I am now in my second semester, and hopefully it gets better from here. And like, really, there's a lot of things that I didn't even expect myself to do this year. It's just like, okay, this year I've experienced a lot of things. I know my channel is really based around self-improvement, but I think I want to just like change it to documenting my life a little bit more, because I'll be honest with you guys, I've actually fallen off self-improvement quite a bit. Like, I haven't really been what I used to be. Like, if you can go and take a look at my previous videos, I probably had a more red pill approach to doing things, but now things are a little bit more different. I've gotten to that period of life, which also signifies character progression. I've gotten to that period of life where I've just been comfortable with taking things on day by day. Like, I still don't want to be average, but that's why I'm doing things at like the best way I can do it, because if you're gonna try, right, just you might as well go all the way, or else don't even try. Like, I think I need to use that advice for myself. Like, I literally have a few assignments coming up that I have not done yet, but I'll do it all the way. And there's a lot of things that I've done that may be considered as low value, and my past self will hate me for doing that. But it's just part of life. You just gotta experience things. Like, this year, I never would have expected myself to go clubbing or like go out and drink with other people. But I cannot be honest, I tried it once. I think it's good to experience it one time in your life, but I don't think I'll be ever going back to the club too often because I just didn't really like being drunk and the whole atmosphere of the club. I just felt like it just really wasn't for me. And prior to this year, I was never really like sort of no, I wouldn't say well liked. I was never really well accepted by other people. And this year, I think, my confidence has risen a lot. Like, you can actually take a look at this video and take a look at like my previous videos, the ones at the start of the year, and you can compare my, speaking skills from now to back then. Hopefully, there's a noticeable change, but I think there is. Like, I've gotten a lot more confident in the way I do things and with the way I approach things, and this has helped me in like other areas. I've kind of fallen into what everybody else in this generation is, like a fucking degenerate. But I'm slowly my way improving, okay? I'm slowly improving. Okay, so yeah, everyone in this fucking generation is a degenerate. And I'm kind of a degenerate as well. And I'm trying to change that, like go back to like my old ways of self improvement, which is gonna take time. That's not bullshit. That's not fucking sugarcoat things. It's gonna take time, but I'll get back on it, and that's how much confidence I have in myself that I'll be able to do it again. And it's a lot of things that I've done in the past few months that made me realize like, oh shit, maybe this generation's kind of fucked. You know how like there's this like whole topic on social media of like men against women or whatsoever, and then it's just like back in the day I wouldn't have understood why like all women hate men or whatever. Now I understand because I became one of those men. Like there was a period of time after I had actually healed from my heartbreak that I kind of went around like going out a little bit more and then talking to girls a little bit more, and then I started realizing like, oh, you're actually becoming like one of those guys that girls hate. And back in the day I didn't used to understand it, but now I understand it already. It's just like, don't go around and play with like people's feelings. And I've got to apologize to whoever I've hurt, because that really wasn't me. I think I've learned from my mistakes. I've actually apologized to them before already, because that really isn't me. And I was so heartbroken that I kind of had to take it out on someone, and they didn't deserve that. So yeah, that's just another part of 2023 that I've learned from. And yeah, another thing that I've learned from this year, that life is really beautiful, but it's really short at the same time. I know, like, at 17, I don't know why, but I feel just immense pressure to have everything figured out right now at 17. And truth be told, I don't, but it's still good to have that sort of mentality that, oh, you're lagging behind a bit. So yeah, like I said just now, there's a lot of people in my school that are like 21, 22, and they seem to have their whole lives figured out. I even have like a schoolmate that actually has kids, but he's still coming to my school. But yeah, that's just like crazy. It just feels like everyone has their life figured out except for you. But truth be told, I think from talking to all my seniors, they don't actually have their life figured out, because I think that's the trend through life. It's just like you think, oh, you're lagging behind and everyone's doing so much better than you, when in reality everyone doesn't know what they're doing as well. They're just like going through life day by day, and hopefully they'll figure it out someday. Okay, let's talk about how this year was compared to last year. I think this year I probably made a less significant of a character progression than last year, but there was still a lot that I learned. Like I said before, I think last year it was just a lot of coming from like the early teens to the mid teens. Like you sort of hit that, like like your prefrontal lobe, like it fucking develops a little bit. Yeah, I feel like that's what happened. Like my prefrontal lobe, it actually like developed a little bit last year. I was like, oh shit, like life is like weird, and you gotta like grip it before it's too late. And that was last year. Like last year I had the, I think, right mix of confidence and humility, because I'll be honest, this year my ego has gotten out of hand many times. Honestly, I can be honest. Okay, wait, no, that's stupid. Okay, I can be honest with you. Why do I have an ego now? It's because of the achievements that I had in 2022. Like, deep down, I know I've always had an ego, but it's sort of like I didn't have anything to validate my ego with until I had those achievements in 2022. And I went around thinking like, oh, I'm the shit now. Like, everyone's like not up to my level or something like that. And sometimes I sit back and realize in December that I'm just being a fucking cunt, you know, like me in May, June. Oh mate, that was like, I would cringe at myself if I went back and see him now, because I was going around screaming, "Oh, I'm him," and then I was like, "Oh, I'm literally Andrew Tate." No, you're not, bro, you're not. And you know that's another thing I want to talk about, the red pill space. Like I feel like, you know, it's it's kind of sucked, you know, like the red pill space. Like it's kind of, once you get mental clarity, you realize that, oh, this thing's kind of a hoax. Like I'm not black pill or whatever, blue pill or whatever. It's just like this thing is kind of extreme. Like I don't know if you guys still consume any red pill content, but yeah, that shit's kind of extreme, you know. And I'm glad I've left that space for good. But now what do they call it now? Now it's like a blank state of mind where you just want to progress day by day and improve day by day, because you know slow motion is better than no motion, if you get what I mean. And yeah, that's probably anything else from 2022. Uh I think 2022 was also a year I learned a lot of things from, but not as much as 2023. Like 2022 was a better year in terms of like achievements and progress, but 2023 was better in the sense of like I learned a lot more things. I gained a whole new perspective, and you know that's just how it is. And okay, right now I want to talk about what I want to achieve in 2024. So first things first, I've learned to actually prioritize my health this year. Like I've had 4 injuries, and this has took a really big mental toll on me. Like I'm a two-sport athlete for my school, and there's literally a lot of things that, you know, I wish I could have done to prevent all these injuries, but unfortunately I didn't do it. So right now I think the main goal I want to have for 2024 is really just keep my body healthy, so I can come back and, you know, be the athlete I am and actually win something for my school. Because, you know, I don't want to graduate my tertiary education without winning something for my school. I know it's like student athlete, or the student comes before athlete, but come on, man. Sports, if you're doing it, you'll actually know how good, how fun it is. Even though it's so tough, but like the camaraderie you get from your team, yeah, that's just fantastic, bro. And yeah, I think having good health is really key in life. Like, you know, I hit puberty, I would consider really late. So, you know, there's still a lot of things that my body is changing, and I'm still trying to get used to a little bit. Like my voice has deepened quite a bit this year, and yeah, it's just like there's still a lot of things for me to get used to. And I think part of growing is also learning that, oh, health is wealth. Because really, man, like right now I've been on crutches for like almost the past 1 month. I haven't been able to walk for the past 1 month, and it's just like it really makes you grateful for when you could walk. And yeah, I really wish that I can make a full recovery from this injury and I can walk again sometime soon. Because really, man, I don't like being bedbound. I don't like having crutches. I really just want to go out there and just walk. I don't even run and go play sports or whatever. Just walk, man. Yeah. What else in 2024? I definitely hope to, you know, uh, be better both mentally and physically. Like physically, I've actually made a lot of improvements this year. I've actually put on quite a big amount of muscle this year. So I'm naturally a pretty stocky guy. So yeah, I actually put on quite a lot of muscle this year. Even though people will call it like, oh, it's like you're still fat. I agree. I still look fat from the outside, but I've actually put on a significant amount of muscle. Like I can genuinely feel it. And you know, I don't even go to the gym. Like when I go to the gym, I only use it to hit legs because I have a really weak lower body. Despite me having massive calves because of football, but like the mechanics just aren't right in my lower body, and I'm trying to work on that, and hopefully it gets better in 2024. But yeah, I've because of like football and because of judo, I've gotten like a lot better with like my mobility first of all, and like yeah, it's just a lot of different things for me to get used to this year. Because yeah, and you know, like sports, it really taught me a lot of things, because this year I've actually already went from like 92 kilograms at my highest which is about roughly 200 pounds, 205 pounds, to about like I think 84, 85 at my lowest. And right now I'm around 86, so that's alright because I'm not that tall yet. I'm still growing. I'm not that tall yet, and I'm kind of heavy for like the BMI and whatever. But majority of it is muscle, so we'll keep it there. We'll keep it there. And what else do I want to achieve in 2024? Oh yeah, let's talk. No, 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 let's talk about the mental part first. I really want to grow mentally. I want to be more disciplined. I think this is something that I said also last year, that I want to be more disciplined, but I haven't actually accomplished it yet. I've read a lot of books on discipline, but I haven't really, put it to work as much as I wanted to. And I think that's really something I want to do next year. Like I really want to, speak things into fruition a lot more, and I really want to, you know, uh, walk the walk after I talk the talk. And yeah, and hopefully next year I'll probably, speak a little lesser. I'll speak less and I'll do more. That's probably something I want to do. And what else do I want to achieve in 2024? No, honestly, just be happy, like have good mental health. Like I think something really key, because I used to really ignore mental health when I was younger, and this year I realized like, oh shit, this shit actually matters, bro. And yeah, I just want to have good mental health, and of course good grades, good friendship, good everything in my family goes well, whatever. But yeah, I think good mental health is something I want to aim for. I want to have like peace of mind, because I really feel like if I have peace of mind, I can do anything, man. Like when I walked into that exam hall, mind mind clear, like just absolutely in the zone and having confidence. I think that's really all I need. That's really all I need in life. Yeah. So I guess that's this the end of the video. I guess. I don't know when I'll be uploading this, but hopefully by the end of 2023. And yeah, all I gotta say is talk less and do more. Bye.